Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Wednesday, the 10th day of May. It is World Lupus Day today, National Washington Day, National Clean Up Your Room Day, National Lipid Day, National Third Shift Workers Day. I know a lot of people who work third shift. That is not necessarily the easiest time to work, but hats off to each and every one of you. National Shrimp Day. I know a lot of shrimps. And, oh, you mean the food?
Wow.
I actually am a fan of shrimp. Heidi is allergic to shrimp.
I am allergic.
School Nurse Day today and National Receptionist Day. All of those things happening on this Wednesday, the 10th day of May. And I am so excited to visit with Barbara Eden. Yeah. I'm excited to chat with her. I Dream of Jeanie.
Loved I Dream of Jeanie.
Yeah. And
so
Harper Valley
much.
PTA. And she's got a Christmas movie that came out a few years ago that is an amazing Christmas movie. And she's a part of a thing called ChristmasCon. It's happening a month from now. It's next month. It's in June. But they're kind of right now reaching out and telling everybody about it. And that way, if people want to go, they have time to get there because it's at a location where you'd be able to go to it if you want to. But we're going to get all the details, chat with her all about it coming up in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. 67% of people say their cat is their best friend. We don't have a cat. Is our dog your best friend, Heidi?
No, that is actually pretty sad.
That is. Well, the good news is I'm glad that our dog is not your best friend because you're my best friend. And am I your best friend?
Yes,
am I?
Of course you are.
Are you sure? Okay. And how much money do you spend on food that goes to waste? If your average is about $3,000 a year, I think we're below average. The average household spends $248 a week at the grocery store. $63 of that goes to waste. So here's the two things that happen for most of those dollars. Either you make things and you make too much and you have leftovers that don't get eaten, or you don't make it in time and it gets bad before you make it. And we've had both of those things happen.
Well, of course. I think
For
everybody has.
Us, I think more often it's the second one. Like, we don't even get to it. I pull out a head of lettuce and it's mushy. I'm like,
yeah,
ugh.
that happens a lot with our veggies,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But I try
sad.
to eat leftovers. Heidi's not a fan of leftovers, but if you're not a fan, you're not alone. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that researchers at the University of Texas, Austin have successfully created an artificial intelligence system that can translate your brain activity into plain, readable language? Yeah, they can read your mind. Okay,
this
device
stuff is not good.
Yeah, this device known as a semantic decoder can do so by utilizing similar technology implemented by ChatGPT. No surgery or special implant required.
My gosh.
A test subject is instructed to listen to a podcast while inside a scanner before having their thoughts decoded by either telling a story in their head or imagining it. This allows the machine to generate corresponding text from brain activity alone.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know that that's a great idea. There's probably some good uses for that if somebody's mute, for them to be able to utilize this technology, for them to have a voice. That's a cool idea. But for the rest of us,
It's such a bad idea.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Steve Spielberg regrets that he re-edited the 82 classic E.T. to appeal to modern audiences. Remember when he did that back in 2002? He went through and edited, took the guns out, put walkie-talkies in.
Oh.
Anyway, he's just going, no film should be revised based on the lenses that we look at now, either voluntarily or being forced.
I agree with that
peers.
completely.
Another classic Frasier character coming back for Paramount Plus's revival of Frasier, Perry Gilpin, who we've had on the program. She'll be back as Roz Doyle.
Oh, good.
So it doesn't necessarily say how she's going to be in the story because they're no longer in Seattle. They're going to actually be in Boston, but I guess we'll find out. And Robert Pattinson will star as a serial killer in a new film coming to Netflix. Now, he was in Batman. He was in Twilight series, been in several things. But he's going to be the lead character as a serial killer in a new movie coming to Netflix. He just doesn't look like a serial killer to me, but I don't know. Who knows what they look like, I guess. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. May is National Burger Month. So this is the month to
I
have
like burgers.
Yeah, I like burgers as well. So we'll have to maybe do burgers sometime. And then another quick little thing here. Leonardo DiCaprio is reportedly dating a 21-year-old TV host. End of story. So there's nothing else. I don't know
He
why.
likes him young.
I don't know why that's out. You know, he kind of reminds me of my brother Joe.
Really?
In his dating world at least. Yeah. Love you, Joe.
Poor
Apparently,
Joe.
when it comes to new music, singers are getting quieter. A new study found that the volume of lead singers in chart-topping songs has gradually decreased over the last 75 years. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, I'll leave that up to you. But traditionally, music is focused on emphasizing the lead singer's voice. Researchers, though, at the University of Oldenburg in Germany have discovered that lead vocals are becoming increasingly quieter compared to the rest of the music. Researchers feel this trend is due to changes in music technology, but they say it could also be related to the stylistic evolution of pop songs. Study authors found country music has the highest lead vocal to accompaniment ratio, followed by rap and pop. Rock music had an almost zero LAR, while metal had a negative LAR, and solo singers had a much higher LAR than bands. Again, that LAR was a lead vocals to accompaniment ratio. So I never really thought of that, but
I think some of that is anymore. Singers are being chosen by their image rather than by their talent.
How
And
they
so they
look.
have to amp up the background
it's
noise
like,
because they're not necessarily talented.
has anybody told her she can't sing? Turn up the volume
But
on
did you
that.
see what she looks like?
Turn up the volume on the guitar and nobody will notice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there might be something to that. All right, scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Our guest today is Barbara Eden. And just like me, maybe you grew up watching her on I Dream of Jeanie or maybe on Harper Valley PTA. Well, you get a chance to meet her next month. She'll be at an event called ChristmasCon. Have you done quite a few events like this, Barbara?
This will be my second.
It's got to be really exciting to see a line of people who are there to see you.
I love it. I just love it. I have the nicest fans in the whole world. I really do. And this show is a particularly warm and wonderful show because it's about Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that they're doing this next month. So it's kind of like Christmas in June. Usually you hear Christmas in July. Well, June is actually 6 months away from December. So this makes a lot more sense. It is June 9th through the 11th in Kansas City. Now, you said you had done one other event. Was there a nice turnout at the last ChristmasCon event?
Huge.
So, Barbara, what was the number one question people asked you at the last ChristmasCon event?
How do you get out of the bottle?
And what is the answer to that? Is it movie magic or it's more than that?
It isn't easy. That's all I say.
There you go. That is a great answer. Now, when you signed up to be Jeanie in the TV show I Dream of Jeanie, did you have any idea how big of a deal that was going to be?
I had no idea. Actually, after we completed the show, as you know, I went on and did other things, and I was very busy. I didn't even think about her. But then in the last few years, all of a sudden, there she is, right over my shoulder, I love it.
And the power of reruns means you get to be Jeanie forever, and that means you get to be that same age forever and ever as well.
Well, yes, until reality sets in. The wonderful thing is that the show is being shown all over the world, which is amazing to me. I get fan mail and I answer it from, Germany, Italy, Great Britain, South America, Taiwan, and China. Where else? And some of the Russian area. I don't know how they do it, but I do get mail from them.
Very nice. Now, in addition to being Jeanie from I Dream of Jeanie, one of many roles you've had a chance to do, you also got to be in a movie with Elvis Presley, and it was Flaming Star. What was it like to be in that movie with Elvis Presley? Was that kind of a surreal thing?
It was wonderful. No, it wasn't surreal at all. It was very down to earth and fun. He was a gentleman. He cared very much about his work. He wanted to be a good actor, and guess what? He was a good actor. This was the one film that he really had a part that he could get his teeth in and show that he was an actor. He played a half-breed. He died, and he didn't get the girl in this movie. So it was different for him, but he loved doing it.
And then when it comes to Harper Valley PTA, you were in the movie, and you did such a good job in the movie. When they decided to make that into a television show, they had you as the same character in the TV show as well. And I think it's kind of rare to see a movie turned into a TV show, but they did it with that, and I think it turned out really well.
I do too. I enjoyed doing it.
Barbara, you've had a chance to play a lot of different characters. Are there any of the characters that you would say are the most like the real Barbara Eden? Are you anything like Jeanie or one of the other characters in real life at all?
Well, actors are, a little piece of an actor is in every part they play. You see little bits and pieces of them because that's how they find their truth for that part. So I would say you have to see many roles I've played to know exactly who I am.
And one of the roles you had a chance to play was in a movie called My Adventures with Santa, which kind of brings us back to ChristmasCon coming up next month. It is June 9th through the 11th. This event is happening in Kansas City, and I'm going to throw a link to make it easy for people to find all of the information on this event. But Barbara, do you have other events like this coming up in the future as well, or the one in Kansas City, is this kind of the last one that's on the schedule for you right now?
No, I'm going to be in Rhode Island in November.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing you in Kansas City. Thank you for taking the time to visit today. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Absolutely. And again, our guest today has been Barbara Eden. And Barbara, have a very Merry Christmas in June next month.
Okay.
Again, Barbara Eden, you might know her like I do from I Dream of Jeanie, but she's been in a bunch of other amazing things like My Adventures with Santa, and she will be in Kansas City next month. So if you want to make a trip to Kansas City to meet her at the ChristmasCon event, it's June 9th through 11th. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Pilgrims refused to eat lobsters because they thought they were giant insects.
Oh, I could see that.
I could see that for sure. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Excluding free throws, Shaquille O'Neal made more than 11,000 shots in his NBA career. By the way, only one of them was a three-point shot. So,
Oh.
yeah, he only made one three-pointer in his entire career.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A person burns essentially the same number of calories whether they run a mile or walk a mile.
Yeah.
So, if you're not in a rush, just walk,
Right.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Most, I can't talk over it. It's even better when you hear the rest of it. Most toilet paper sold for home in France is pink. Yeah, not moist toilet paper, most. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It takes 7 standard shuffles to thoroughly mix a 52-card deck. There you go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. On average, we eat 36% more calories than on a normal day when we visit this place. What is it? I agree completely, by the way.
A buffet.
No, a movie theater.
Oh,
36%
yeah.
more calories because we get there and you're like, oh, we got to have popcorn. Oh, yeah, we got to have a large Coke. Yeah, well, I have, yeah, this is a law. I'm like, we better get some Milk Duds. Well, of course, Milk Duds. Well, have some Reese's Pieces. And next thing you know, we're walking in like, do you have a cart by chance? No? Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Dating trends seem to be getting more and more savage. If the names being given them are any indication, we've seen things like cloaking, breadcrumbing, orbiting, gaslighting, and even ghosting. Now, TikToker Mariel Darling has taken to the app to share the latest horrifying dating trend, being zombied. What does that mean?
Okay, yeah, what does that mean?
She shared with her 250,000 followers. It's like ghosting, but he comes back from the dead after a couple of months and hits you up. Her video has over 1.5 million views, and a follow-up. She said as far as she's concerned, dating in New York City is much like a zombie apocalypse mixed in with the Thriller music video because all these boys are tap dancing around commitment. I see what she did there.
Just dating in general has got to be a nightmare
Seem
today.
to agree with her. One commenter wrote, have you ever noticed all they all zombie you on the same day and the same time? It's like, why are 4 guys from a past hitting me all up today? Another says, mine has a Jesus Christ complex. He comes back every 3 days. Well, there you go. I've got more if you want to read the rest. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com, the best podcasts of the year. I've never heard of any of these, by the way.
Okay.
So I don't
We're not big podcast listeners, though.
I don't see us on the list for some reason. Okay, number 5, Normal Gossip. That is the number 5 podcast. And it has detail about what it is, but I don't like talking about other people, so we're going to just skip that. Number 4, Can I Tell You a Secret? It's a true crime series.
Okay.
Number 3, Frozen Head. And I don't know what that is. It's about cryogenically frozen head. Number 2, The Coldest Case in Laramie. It is a crime-centered podcast. And number 1, Love Janessa. It's a true crime podcast and focuses on Janessa, Brazil. Anyway, that's the top 5. And like I said, up until I read that list, had you heard of any of those before?
Nope.
Nor have I. So I know there's a lot of folks who are in that kind of thing. I am not one of those folks. But there it is. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap, cheap, cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, the quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Heidi, here's a quote for you. It comes from Charles Wadsworth. He said, "By the time a man realizes that his father was right, he has a son who thinks he's wrong." Mm-hmm. I can tell you, I vividly remember when I realized my dad was not an idiot. And sadly, for me, he was already gone.
Yeah.
My dad died very young. He was only 49, and I was like 19 or 18. I was a young kid. But I remember realizing that, oh, wow, he was onto something. Some of the stuff that he said made sense. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline for you, and I think this is really kind of a neat thing. 6-year-old recognized for act of kindness during a school field trip.
Okay.
So this kid in Pennsylvania is being praised for his act of kindness at a trip to the zoo. Caden Montague, I don't know if I'm saying Montague, maybe that's how you say it, was on a field trip at the zoo when one of his classmates there, and clouds and rain moved in. Okay. Caden noticed 2 girls crouching, and they were cold and getting wet. Without hesitation, he went over and took off his jacket and held it over the top of them.
Oh, what
the teacher
little gentleman.
Saw what was going on and snapped a quick photo because she thought that was really cool. She sent the photo to Caden's mom, who said she was so proud when she saw that. When his teacher sent me this, she said, "You raised a gentleman," is what the teacher said.
What a little gentleman.
"I'm proud he's been making good decisions without me even being there," she said. On Monday, he received a certificate for his act of kindness.
That's fantastic. I love that.
That certificate, by the way, was from the school, and there was a story on the local news that actually promoted, that talked about this on a local TV channel.
How sad is it that just being nice has to be news now?
I think that is amazing. And I've got, a story for both our son and our daughter where we could brag them both up, because one was something that we were told at conferences, something nice that our daughter did that made me cry, and I'm getting choked up even thinking about it right now. Yep. And another one was our son on Valentine's Day, something that he did for a nice young lady in his class that, again,
we raised our kids right.
I look back at that and go,
this young man's parents have done right as well.
But I look back at that and say, you know what? They're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But boy, they made good decisions. And they made some lousy decisions too. We could talk about that. But it's good news. So let's talk about them good decisions. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.